What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Necesse, and we are going straight in there. You can't see them because I'm faster at swimming than all of them in boats. As I said, this is why I don't use the mount or the boat, because I can swim faster than the boat and I can sprint faster than the mount. But we are heading south. This is the entirety of our population, and we are going to say hi to the Spider Queen. Again, this is where I said don't go in heads first without the proper setup, i.e. potions and food and weapons and armor. Anyway, hopefully you'll learn from my mistakes, and we're coming in now, and you can see everybody is here. So all we need to do is head into the cave and say hi to Miss Queen Le Spider. Of course, I have the spider egg. I made it, so there we go. 8,400 health, and here she comes. Now this is why you need a kill area, make an arena, and it's exactly the same purpose as in Terraria, because you need to be able to move, mitigate and move around this. Plus this stuff on the floor lot is terrible. Some of them aren't doing anything because they are melee and they are not in range. She starts doing that stampede and just walks over everyone. They're not great at dodging, but then again neither am I, because we don't have the room or the space to deal with it. Using my summons, I can summon up my minion to try and help out. We're nearly at 80%. The health of our guys is getting down there, almost there. There we go. So we've lost one. And when she stampedes again, we're liable to lose every... There we go. So that's our entire population ruined. I'm going to collect the resources best I can, because we can reuse those. 74%, that is not acceptable, and I don't expect that we are going to fail like this again. Now I've got the concept of it, I'm hoping that arenas and the processors work hand in hand. So far I haven't found anything that you can put down in the arena that gives you buffs like Terraria, but it doesn't have to be the same game, and it isn't the same game. Just comparisons in the hopes that you guys that have played those games get an idea of how this game works. So there's no point extending the inevitable here. She's doing the stampede thing again. She does it 3 times and then goes back to the normal. But we ain't killing her. So let's get back home. So with a reset, come back, got our stuff that we lost. Of course, the boss disappears, so that's fine. Not going to be fighting her anytime soon. And instead, we're going to do a bit of mining. This is not the ice cave, of course. This is back to the normal cave. Most of it is copper that I'm seeing. The edges seem to be gold. Iron seems to be the rarest resource so far. The next step up from gold is the ice shards, but of course you get that from the ice mines, not this mine. So the best we can get from this mine, as far as I have seen, is gold. The little levers there are quite fun, actually. Pulling the lever is connected to a giant stick of TNT, and it will blow a massive hole. Where I'm stood now is one that's been made by a dynamite, so it blows up a hole this size and gets you all the resources in there. Be warned though, I have on one occasion pulled the lever and the dynamite apparently was where the leather was, even though I couldn't see it, and it blew me up. So that was interesting. Random miner hiding in, and this is how you get them. But she wants 23 gold and 400 gold coins. So that's expensive. Some iron ore though. Delicious. Very good. We can use this to make some stuff for us. These boxes, always smash them open. You get a lot of coins, torches and potions from them. Sometimes other things. But it's always worth getting free loot. Why wouldn't you? The orange, of course, is clay. I haven't found a proper use for that yet, unless we can turn it into brick buildings, which, if so, I will, because I love the proper brick buildings. I am in the UK, after all. And there is a vampire enclave. They are sealed by default. You have to break in. Breaking in, of course, will then release them. Their attacks are the bolts that obviously you see me using. They're in hotbar 2. That is the attack they use, and they turn into bats and move around quickly to chase you down and then continue to attack. In bat form they do die easier, but of course in the normal form they don't so much. But there is a lot of loot, and there you go, boom. Whoopsie, that's why you shouldn't play with things that you don't understand. And by don't understand, I obviously mean a trap. Now, there are wires in this game, like redstone wires, that you can link to these traps. I haven't got into that yet, but I will for sure, and hopefully do, once I've got a bit of logic, I might even do the odd tutorial to try and help anyone that's interested, depending on how popular this is, of course. I am enjoying it a lot at the minute, though. But that's, as I'm recording this, which is probably about the 4th episode, it hasn't even been made live yet. So, suffice to say, I'm not sure if this is going to get 1 view or 50 views. Anyway, collecting my stuff, and again, a lot of free stone as well from that TNT. You can see it does exactly the same explosion each time. Nice big circle. Some railway tracks as well. Maybe I can use them on the surface to get around the map quicker. That would be interesting. I might have to try that too. And then some iron ore there. But of course, the spiders will continue to spawn because that black on the floor will spawn the spider webs and then the spiders. To stop that, you have to put a floor down on top of that black flooring, and that will stop both the spawning of the spiders and the spider webs. And more gold. More gold. Gold's good for buying characters, it seems, or getting them to join your settlement. I'm not sure what you want to call it. Bribing, buying, renting. I don't know. But it's also a good resource for your items and armor. And of course, without having durability, it's one of the first times ever where I've played a game where using gold is actually decent and the durability isn't crap. So that's interesting. Going to these new places. Them zombies there that are crawling, they are like an upgrade of the zombie. They are quite tough. They take a lot more to kill and they do a lot more damage than the standard zombies. They're also faster. Yet more copper. Still going. Bit later on, and my inventory is getting quite full. I can see 85 iron ore there. Is what, 95 gold, probably about 110 copper, and 25 of the clay. Enough to certainly get us going. I have got it set up so that obviously when I take these resources back to the base, the crafting, the ingot making, the forging, all of that sort of stuff is done by the actual people at base. Though I don't really have anybody at base yet because I got them all killed. I do feel a bit bad about that, but nothing I can do about it now. Suffice to say, next time I will, of course, put a bit more effort into keeping them alive, i.e. health pots. I did get the sunflowers growing, just wasn't patient enough to actually do it. So just looking at my inventory now, making sure I want to collect certain things. I don't want to miss anything. So anything that's not worth it, I'll chuck on the floor again or bin it and replace it for something else. Once I know I've got everything that I want, I can then leave. Likely now we need to use the teleport in scroll to teleport home. That is on hotbar 9, as you can see, with a light blue ribbon. Next to it there is a purple one. Not entirely sure where I've got those from. They've appeared. They are to teleport you to a map tile. So it's like, instead of having to travel across to the edge and then going north, south, east or west, you can instantly travel to a tile that is within like 3 tiles of where your current location is. They're not infinite, but they are certainly a lot faster. You can see there the homing blood bolts as well doing their thing. They also bounce, which is useful. And pushing right to the edge of the map, as I've said, there's a huge vein there of copper, and it's quite common. There is also a lot more mobs, as you can see. Now, I'm not sure if this is me imagining it or if it is a thing, so let me know your thoughts. But you saw that was a lot of mobs for one little cave, and that is a very large amount of copper to mine. And a patch of lava there. You can get a bucket and collect it. I'm not sure if collecting lava is craftable yet. I probably should check that. A bucket of water and a bucket of lava. We know a very popular game where they are things. I'm not sure if they are in this game. But certainly around the edges, it does seem that the mob spawn, or at least the mobs, are increased. And there's even more here. And then the resources are as well. So it might be worth, if I'm not making it up, to make sure that before you leave an area you go right to the edges. And there's a new mob coming in, some sort of mole looking thing, cave mole, dead. Doesn't give any resources though that I've seen, so that's a bit disappointing. And then yet another zombie. Lighting up as I go, of course, using R as a quick button to put the torches down. Is a bit finicky, but it's easier than keep switching from one hotbar to another hotbar. Really, we should be getting back. I have no space whatsoever. And here we are. Teleporting back, a little bit hungry. There's a question mark here. Alchemist, do you want to join? 318 gold. Nicely done. So that is, I think, our first new... Apart from, obviously, the guy that starts from the beginning. He don't die, unfortunately. He just stays with you. So we now have our second colonist. Of course, the first is the useless one. That is that guy. Which is depicted by the fact that I've got all the farms. Got sweet corn on the right there, all ready to harvest. Nobody harvesting it. And the sunflowers there on the left. Ready to harvest and nobody harvesting it, with the bushes just peeking out to the far right there, again ready to harvest and no one harvesting it. Above the corn you can see 2 wooden bins. They are the fertilizer bins. You can put anything you like in those in terms of plant matter or stuff, and they turn into fertilizer for your colonists to use. Be warned, if you set everything though, they will eat through your resources, seeds, the lot. So I have set them specifically to use seeds that I either have a lot of or I don't need. Also, I've set one of the chests that I've put some seeds in to not be touched by the settlers. That way I can put whatever I want in there and they can't grab them and do anything with them, and I have always got an emergency backup should I need it. Corn I'm using for food to popcorn. Again, it gives 20 health buff. And the sunflower seeds are for health potions that I didn't use last time, but let's not talk about that. Travelling over to another island tile and another settlement here. Again, a friendly one. And I am going to rob them. I mean, if they didn't want me to, they'd make a thing about it, right? I don't know, it's a bit cheesy, I get it, but it's resources at the end of the day. I really do need to get some sheep and some cows back in my own settlement, but getting around to that is just not happening. Another mage there, which means we can do some enchanting should we wish and have enough gold. Also, their farms, I'll just check to make sure they haven't got any seeds that I am lacking. There are many, many different fruits and vegetables that you can grow in this game, and many, many fancy foods that you can craft. If you have all the said right animal meats and vegetables. So I'm interested to see like something that requires a meat and like 3 different vegetables, what sort of stats it gives you, because I would imagine that's quite significant. In the meantime, we'll get a crap ton of mutton, wool, leather and beef. There is some stuff in there. I'm not entirely sure yet whether the seats and tables and baths are actually relevant or if they do anything. So far I've not seen them get used, though they do look good. So I think if it's just for aesthetics, I will look into that and do it myself to make sure everybody looks like they've got a nice little house and a nice little seating area, etc. But in terms of stats and the capabilities and happiness of the settlers, I'm not yet convinced that it makes any difference whatsoever. So let's have a look now with all the resources we have and collected. We've been processing the ores for quite a while. I might need to make another forge to help process them, but you can see there we've got 50 ingots of gold. So can I increase my armor? It's looking there like yes we can. So there are actually 2 helmets to craft from the gold. There is the one that is for armor, which is the red tip on the top, and that gives you more armor and it's for fighting. And then there's a little crown next to it, which is increasing your summoning capabilities as you wish. Now, as it stands, the gold itself is not being used for much else. So I'm going to use it for me. Again, no durability, so why wouldn't I use the best thing for me? And then we can see how we get on later. Now, I've built the normal fighting helmet there. I'll be honest, when I was doing that, I didn't see that the crown was there, even though it was. I've just seen it myself now. I find the crown later, and that is definitely a better option. Because the crown gives you an extra summon, which means I have 2, but the crown's bonus for having the rest of the armor increases you by 1 more, so you get 3 summons. And to be honest, the summons are really useful for when I'm farming and doing various things. They just keep everybody entertained for me. You can see we're populating the base nicely. We've got 2 fishermen, a hunter, a blacksmith, and the guy. That's what we're going to call him. I'm just sorting out making sure they've got stats, weapons, armors, etc. Unfortunately, no miners yet. Miners are very useful, and I'm a bit Gutted because the first group of people we had 2 and now we've got none. Bit of OCD going on here. I've put another path in on the bottom. I'm not sure what I'm putting in there yet, but for now it'll do. It's 5 deep, same as the one above, so I just haven't put the vertical lines in. But I'm just putting the torches down to try and make them somewhat symmetrical. It just makes me feel better. Now, there are street lamps you saw at the top. The iron street lamp, there's the bottom of one, which has a much bigger area. Of course, I'd like to, well, I will cover the entire village settlement with those when I can afford to. But that's a lot of iron. I think they're 10 ingots each and a torch. So for now, I'll make do with just using the standard torches to keep the spawns as far away from the base as possible. Oh, I said base for settlement, base, village, town, whatever you prefer. So I mentioned the teleport scrolls, so let's try one out. Let's go to a desert village, see if there's anything different there. We've done a lot of green villages. You can see there are a lot of tiles uncovered on the map. That's from the map fragments that you get, and it obviously unlocks one. All the question marks you can just go to manually if you wish. But we'll teleport over to a desert island and see what it's all about. Obviously a lot of sand, palm trees and cacti. I believe there's supposed to be a village here as well. I've upgraded my sword too, so the sword now is made with the ice shards. So that's the level above gold. Oh, more cows, good. Crabs, they don't give anything to my knowledge. And more people that we can potentially steal. This is a villager. They want a little bit of gold and a lot of wool, actually. That was quite cheap. That's probably the cheapest I've seen so far. Maybe I should make the effort to try and get a lot of my resources in and come and get some new friends. In the meantime, I am going to rob all of their animals, or at least I'm going to murder all of their animals and slaughter. It's a much better word. Slaughter all of their animals and steal the resources. Checking in the cupboards to see if I've got any freebies. They don't usually have much in the cupboards, but the chests are very common to have items in. Top right hand corner there of that room. There it is. And there you go. Some snowstone and some stone wood. Snowstone is stone from snow biome, and it's just stone that is a light colour. It's not quite white, but it's a very, very light grey. And yes, you can do buildings, walls, floors, etc. out of it with a different texture. It contrasts nicely, actually. And then there's some fishing bait, some worms, and a few torches. So nice freebies there with a desert cave. If I'm not mistaken, this place is no joke. I can't actually mine any of it. So I'm not sure what level of pickaxe I need to mine the sand. But I can't mine anything, and the mobs here are really, really tough. The mummies there, and then the coyotes. They are, again, no joke. Who saw this coming? Yeah. Never mind. Rinse and repeat. We know what to do. It's not the end of the world. We lost our gold, but not really any of the resources. So it's whether you want to travel there and get it back or not. It's up to you. I will. And then for a bit of fun, trying out my new guys that I've kitted out a bit better, paid a lot more attention to, giving them health, potions, food, and armor with weapons. And then we'll try this boss again. 5,880 health this time, going down reasonably quick. Of course, this section here where you get the rain comet things, they're not great at dodging. They spend their time actually following me as opposed to dodging the abilities. Now I'm spending the time to try and dodge the abilities because I don't want to die, because if I die the whole thing resets. So we'll come in. I'm just staying at range again, using the abilities I have to stay away as far as possible. My sword is pretty strong, so doing melee would work, but there's already enough of us there, right? So again, dodging this, here he comes down, and rinse and repeat. Much better, much easier. Everybody's got full health almost, apart from one a little bit down. But so well actually that I am just going to go again. This one's got 3,500 health and then jumps up to 5,800 health. So it is looking like it's depicted on how many people you are using to fight. It takes them a bit of time to realise, oh, there's the baddie. They're a bit, I don't know, slow. But they got there. And there we go for the last couple of percent, and voila. 2 down in one night. Nobody died. Everybody's full health. Everybody's happy. I'm happy. We've got the goods. Got another guy here looking like he wants to join. He's different. He's not a miner. He's got an orange helmet on. So let's check him out. He is a gunsmith. Wonderful. So he's going to have guns and help us make guns. They are a thing. So he needs money, which I don't have because it's been put away. I keep doing that. And by putting it away, I mean I don't actually know where I put it. Where did I put my gold? Turns out I left it in the sand area where I died and just didn't pick it up when I tried to pick it up. But there you go. Got it and bought him. So we have now a gunsmith in the party. He has a gun himself. A handgun, 17 damage. To be honest, that's not that relevant. It's less than an iron bow and it's less than my magic thing, but it's his and he can use it, and from what I can see he doesn't need ammo, although it shows ammo. They just fire anyway. Another street lamp made. As I said, I like them. That's a bit too close to that one, so I'll chuck it there. Good range it uncovers, and they do look quite smart. Happy with those, very happy indeed. So successful episode I think here with the 2 bosses killed. Obviously we've been to the desert island now and seen that that is an option, but we clearly need other bits before we can go there and do any useful mining. I am going to end the episode here. We are at time, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Join us on Discord. Take care. Goodbye.